He is a two-time Bassmaster Classic qualifier. He's an Elite Series champion. And in just a couple of days, he will leave the dock at his second Bassmaster Classic as the progressive Bassmaster Angler of the Year leader. From Raceland, Louisiana, Tyler Rivet joins me on...
I'm Bob Cobb from the Bassmaster. Welcome to Mercer.
Welcome all friends, family, freeloaders, fishing freaks. You're all welcome here at the Awkwardly Honest Fishing Podcast that goes by my last name, which is Mercer. Thank you for joining us this week. It is Wednesday. Happy hump day to each and every one of you. Happy hump day to all the humpers that tune in here week after week, and I thank you for that. But this is a very, very special week. This isn't just any week. This is Bassmaster Classic week. So much excitement and hoopla and people traveling from all around the world to be there. And to be totally honest, moment of total honesty to you guys, I'm not really here right now. I'm actually, God willing, I'm getting all dudded up and getting ready to head to the Night of Champions, which is a cool event. It's kind of the formal kickoff of the Bassmaster Classic. And it's always strange because you don't recognize half the anglers because, you know, real mainstream celebrities, they'll put hats and glasses on and slink around the airport and nobody will know who they are. You do the opposite if you're a pro angler. You just take your hat and glasses off and nobody has a clue who you are. So we will see a lot of that, and we'll see them all dudded up with their spouses. And it's a fun event. We get to hear Brandon Palnick's speech as the reigning Angler of the Year. We get to honor all the champions from all the different levels of bass. So it's a fun night, a fun kickoff night. And if we had better technology, I would have done this live from there or something. But we don't. But at least I have a commitment to you guys. And my commitment is that we'll have a show here all the time for you guys to see every single Wednesday. And we do. That's why we pre-recorded this. But speaking of the Bassmaster Classics, I've got a lot of DMs from a lot of you guys that are going to be there. If you're going to be there, I would love to meet you. It is going to be a gong show, this Bassmaster Classic. The amount of people traveling from Australia and Canada and all over that I keep hearing from, it's nuts. But my schedule is also nuts at the Classic. And people are like, well, where will you be hanging out? And the truth is, I don't really hang out anywhere. I'm there for a little while at one spot, and then pew, there at another spot, and pew, gone. So every single day, I'll be at takeoff. That's probably the easiest spot to track me down if you'd like to say hello. And love to shake your hand. Love to thank you for tuning into our show, and thank you for being a Bassmaster fan. So that's at Volunteer Landing every single morning. I'll be down there before it's daylight, and then in the afternoon, evenings, I'm obviously at the Thompson Bowling Arena for weigh-in, so you can see me there. It's a little harder for me to leave the stage and come see you, but I will be there. And then throughout the day, I'm often at the expo for Bass Live and spend some time in some sponsor booths and stuff like that. So you can guarantee, just top of my head. So on day one, on Friday, I believe I'll be in the expo from 11 till 1:30, and I'll be at the Bass Live booth. So swing by there and say hello. On Saturday, I'll be in the Bass Live booth from 11:30 to 12:30. And then on the final day, I'll be in the Bass Live booth from 10 to 11. So those are the times I'm guaranteed to be in there. I'm also going to be in the Phoenix booth some. I'm going to be in the Berkeley booth some. I'm going to be in a bunch of different booths some throughout the day when I can get there, but I don't have a set schedule because literally, something can happen and Bass Live could be like, we need you to go here right away. And you got to go. Or you got to get over to the arena. We got a sound issue we got to deal with. You got to go. So I am all over the place, but I would love to meet you guys. So make sure if you see me, just holler at me, just yell at me, and I will try and make my way to you. It is great meeting all of you, and this week's going to be an exciting week. It is setting up to be a great Bassmaster Classic. It is truly a celebration of the sport, and I think we're going to have monster crowds, monster crowds. I mean, the amount of people traveling to this classic, kind of the first classic that everything's open to travel. So I think this is going to be an old school crazy classic. And the cool thing about Knoxville is everything's together. You guys have heard that, I'm sure. You know, everything's within 5 minutes of each other. So there's no big travel to something once you get to Knoxville. So I hope to see you in Knoxville. And a guy that I will see in Knoxville that's going to have a lot of hype around him. There's some hyped up anglers going in this classic, but there may not be more hype around anyone than this angler. He is a 2-time Bassmaster Classic qualifier, but when he kicks off his second Bassmaster Classic in just a few days, he will be going out as our progressive Bassmaster Angler of the Year leader. What a season he has had so far. Started it off with a win in Okeechobee, backed it up with a third-place finish in Seminole. He is your progressive Bassmaster Angler of the Year leader. He is an Elite Series champion. He is this week's guest. So let's go all the way to Raceland, Louisiana, and hook up with the one and only Tyler Rivet. Tyler Rivet. Tyler Rivet, you're an Elite Series champion. How does that feel?
It's awesome. I mean, dude, it's crazy. Like, I still don't think it really fully sank in yet, you know? It's just back to back like that, just nonstop doing this and that. And then I think it actually hit me. When it really hit me was watching the video the other day of the recap of everything, the marathon peak perform. That was pretty chilling right there. It gave me some chills and stuff. So I never got to see it from the outside. Nobody does, you know? So it's cool to watch it, to see what everybody else had to look at and watch the whole time. So
yeah,
for sure.
I mean, I said that to you several times during that week, but I really feel like, wow, like to watch what you've kind of got, the emotional roller coaster. You know, the beginning of the season is always kind of nerve-wracking for everyone. I think, you know, you want to get off to a good start. Well, you can't get off to a better start than you have. But if I'd have said to you a month ago that you're going to be fishing the Bassmaster Classic and you're going to go into that event an Elite Series champion, leading progressive Bassmaster Angler of the Year, would you have believed that?
I told you to get off whatever you're on or give me some just so I could feel that for a little bit. No, I wasn't expecting it. We all expect it, you know, like we want it to happen, of course, but it's just one of those deals, you know, like I tell everybody else, we just go out there to get the checks, like cut checks and survive and stay on the Elite Series, and whatever happens from there, we make the best of it.
Well, you definitely made the best of everything so far this year. Your worst finish is a third place finish. But before we talk about the win, how much of that win do you think affected the next event? Like, to go and back it up the way you did, number one, has to be amazing mentally, everything to the person. But number two, like, was that momentum in action?
I think so, because honestly, I couldn't, it was no focusing for the most part in that tournament. It was just stuff happening. You just know, like phone call after phone call, just text. And oh man, I was just not there mentally, I feel like. And I mean, I was still fishing. I found a few fish, but I was just, I'm like, man, I just hope something works out, because it was a rough practice, just not being able to sit there and visualize everything and focus how I needed to. And, I mean, it worked out. You know, I went into the tournament saying, hey, I just came off a win. You know, let's go have some fun and do what I like to do, is flip, punch, frog. So, and shallow water fish. And we were able to make do with that.
So how shocking, is it more shocking to you that you won on Okeechobee, or more shocking that how you won?
Oh, it's definitely more shocking than that. And the crazy part is, man, like now that everything's over and I've been watching everything, I just seen where Cobb was, and Cobb was literally in the same little circle of my second spot was, that I never made it to. And so that's pretty cool. Like to see, like, I was like, oh wow, I know that spot. And I could see the little bush right there and where the bank was. I'm like, holy crap, that's my second little waypoint where I was going to head to when I left up there up the river. So it's just cool to see, like, that it might have worked out in different ways, you know, who knows, but the win like that was not expected for sure, but I think it opened up a lot of eyes.
So when I was talking to you and Brock and Hank, I think before the meeting, before tournament even started, you were telling me about catching sacolé right up there in the river. For like, at that moment when you guys were telling me that story, did you really think that you were going to, like, when was the decision made that this is where I'm fishing in the tournament?
I once I found it, that was where my biggest fish from the practice came from. So I was like, I have to go there, and it's right here by the launch. So I might as well hit it first just to see, like if I get lucky and catch 1 or 2 big ones, and go out in the lake and catch some 2s and 3 pounders if I'm lucky. And it went out. I went out there the first day and it was just, it was slow at first. I had 2 for about 3 pounds and went for a little while. And I was about to pick up the trolling motor and leave. I was about to head out and I cast it one more time, looked on the live scope, caught a 6 pounder. Threw it in the box, literally next cast, threw out there, caught one almost 5. And at that time, I had the weight that I wanted to make the cut, about 14, 15 a day, maybe 15 a day on the safe side. So 4 fish. So I was like, well, damn, I'm going to just stay in the damn river all day and hope for the best. And that worked out. So I never saw that lake all tournament.
Wow. All because of
12 gallons in 4 days.
That's how much you burned? 12
gallons in 4 days.
And how much did you burn through pre-fish?
Oh man, that's because I found that the first day, and you can't base that on anything. So, but I'd say about 40 gallons, 50 gallons maybe total. Because I went way south one day and I just rode the rim ditch all the way just to see what it was like. And honestly, that was my game plan whenever we came pre-fish it. I went down south in this little pond, and sure enough, on that MLF one, they had one of the guys in that pond. Brock, I was told Brock I had like a 9.5 in there for pre-fishing whenever we were in there. And I caught a few other good ones, and I was live scoping in there. It was just a deep hole in there. And I was like, he's like, nobody's going to go in there. Nobody's ever caught fish in there. And sure enough, that tournament before we get there, there's somebody on camera. Like you can see exactly where it's at. I'm like, well, I thought it's done. And I went in there for practice, and luckily I didn't catch a fish in there. So I scratched all that off. I said, I'm not running way down there. It's too far. And that was my only spot down there. So I said, let's just stay up on the North Shore and stay in the river and see what happens. And our backup plan was Taylor's Creek. We went in there for pre-fishing, and we were able to catch them 18 to 20 pounds pretty easy. And it was same conditions. Windy, cold front came through, and the lake was hard to fish. We went in there, and it was just flip after flip. You could catch them. So I was wanting to go in there, and we just never got to. Luckily, we did good enough. We didn't have to go in there.
Yeah, I'd say it worked out pretty good. Sacolé, I wasn't very good in French class, but what is that bag of milk? Is that what that means?
Yeah, it's like sack of milk. Yeah, because the meat's so white.
It's weird that I never, until you actually, like, I've heard Cajuns call them sacolé all the time, and I never actually stopped to think of like what it meant. But it makes sense.
Yeah, just some white meat. That's what it did.
So you traded those bags in for a bunch of bags.
$100,000
bags.
The money bags.
How are you going to avoid the pattern of just going and fishing where you catch crappie and pre-fish to win tournaments?
Honestly, if I'd have listened to it again at the Seminole, I might have did a little better, because where I caught those sacolé at Seminole the first day of practice was literally 300 yards away from where Joey won at.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it was just that point where I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of looking at the screen. And if I'm on camera, I want to do something. I want to show people that I could catch them shallow too. And I just want to have, it's that it might have been different if I didn't win the last one. Maybe I might have stayed out there doing it, but it was just a different mindset, I guess, going into it, just relaxed. And I just want to go have fun and catch them. And I was lucky enough to stumble on them again.
How much of it is luck and how much of it is you got to say luck because you're a professional angler and you can't take any credit for things? If you just say you found them yourself, it's just so weird. It's a weird thing about our sport. Like, you never ever hear a quarterback being like, I was just lucky that the receivers caught all the balls
I got lucky
today.
and threw it up there and he caught it. I mean, we just have to say it because then you just gotta be cocky in a way, so, and like, we don't like that. And it's a humbling sport. So you can't say you're good at it because I could go to the next tournament and bomb. So I'm not saying like I'm the best and just because I'm leading AOY. I mean, I obviously know there's a million great fishermen out there. It's just how everything's happening right now. You just got to go with it. And I'm blessed that it's happening, but at the same time, you got to be humble, it just got to have fun too.
Why do we hear anglers say that all the time? Because from the outside, you think, okay, well, you got to have fun when you're fishing the Elite Series. That's got to be fun. But I understand from seeing it, it is fun. The act of fishing is fun, but the gamble of the lifestyle that you guys are living isn't fun at times.
Oh no. Well, I was talking to my buddy in the parking lot the other day at Walmart. We were out there and he was just like, yeah, man, you're living a dream. And I'm like, yeah, it's awesome, man. Like doing it. And he's like, man, this 7 to 5 job, it just sucks. And I was like, yeah, but at the same time, you get a paycheck every week and we don't. That's the difference. That's the scary part. And that's what sucks about the scary part about the pro fishing, because you never know when your next check's going to come. You have to work for it visually and like actually catch the fish if you want to get paid. If not, you're taking out your money out your bank to pay the next entry fees. So that's the scary part about the sport.
I feel like your career though has had when it comes to just being consistent, you've been incredibly consistent. Like I've been kind of saying it for several years now. Like if you want to just pick a random dude on any random body of water that's going to get you points in fantasy fishing, you're the dude. How do you go from that to what we've seen so far this year?
I'm just every year, every day you learn more and more stuff about everything. And one thing is just a live scope. I've learned a lot with live scope, and I didn't really tell a lot of people last year, and almost 100% of my fish last year came off of the whole season. And just like,
I lost you there. What did you say? What percent came?
About 80% of my fish last year came off a live scope.
Wow.
And I would say 80% of the key fish for sure.
Yeah.
Like for instance, that Pickwick, that 8-pounder I caught, I saw that one on live scope, and there was 4 with it that size that I couldn't get the bite after I caught that one there. So I could have had like 40 pounds on this one tree. And I would have never looked at it if it wasn't live scope. Live scope, I'd have threw once at it. I mean, without live scope, I'd have threw once at it, nothing, maybe once or twice, and they wouldn't have bit, kept going. But I saw the fish sitting there, and it makes you fish differently.
When did that live scope transition happen for you? Like what was the eye opener?
I ordered live scope. I had a little 9-inch with the live scope at St. Clair. The last time we were at St. Clair, I think in 21.
Yeah.
And that's the first time I used it. I ordered it the night before the tournament. I got it. I put it on the boat, everything. Still didn't know what the hell I was doing. But everybody was, live scope this. You got to do it. You got to use it. They're everywhere. And I used it a little bit just fishing with Brock, pre-fishing, just seeing it on the screen. So I was kind of familiar with what I needed to look at. And put it on there. But it kicked me in the butt that tournament because I was just staring at it and I didn't know what I was doing. And I was actually catching them for practice without it. So I feel like if I'd have just turned it off and kept doing what I was doing, I probably would have did better. But it from that point on, I was kind of mad at it. And I'm like, you know what? I got to figure this thing out. And the main reason I bought it was to catch sockeye at the house with it because I heard you could catch them with it. And so I turned it on. And that's the main reason I know how to catch them on live scope nowadays is that I've learned from sockeye fishing. It's the same deal you're doing with bass fishing, just on a smaller scale.
Wow. And it's the crappie world embraced it quicker than the bass world. I mean, I think we often in the bass world like to act like we're cutting edge, but the crappie world, I mean, they've been all about it for the longest period of time. Why do you think that? Is that just because of suspended fish, or why are crappie anglers ahead in this point?
I think just like you said, they suspend more. they kind of get into groups and they'll just sit, like for instance, at our house, they'll just sit in the middle of a canal. Like you'll never throw in the middle, just a mile long canal, and they're just in one little 5-foot area, just in the middle of nothing, just no structure, no anything. They're just out there. And I think that's why the Sakale guys and crappie guys do better with it, is because the crappie just suspend everywhere, and just on the main creek channels and the timber, just all on those deeper lakes, it's easier to find them, or just on the brush piles. You can see every fish on that brush pile with that, instead of just a regular 2D sonar where it's just blobs everywhere. And you just, it's the latest. It's crazy looking at it nowadays at a 2D from live scope, how slow the 2D is compared to actual live scope.
Yeah. What do you think when you hear people say that it's a bad thing?
Well, I mean, I don't care. They could think what they want, like you got all those groups of guys that hate it and stuff. But I mean, it is what it's here to stay. It's one of those deals, the learning curves where you got to learn it or else you're going to get left behind. And I'm not saying that you can still catch a fish shallow, it's, the fish are still there shallow. It's just a new way of catching them. Just a new breed of fish in a way, because it's the fish that you weren't able to catch, that you didn't know were just sitting out there on the middle of the point, just suspended. So it's just different fish that are getting caught now. That's all it is.
What is the biggest thing it's taught you?
That even with that live scope, that you still can't catch every fish. It's similar. Yeah, it's just like anything else, just before live scope. Like, they're there, but you still can't catch them. And that's the scary part. It's like you got to know when to leave them. And that was that same thing at Okeechobee. I could see them sitting there, but you could tell when they wanted to be active and when they didn't. And when they were chasing the bait a little more, or when they were glowing up, kind of when they glow, that means they're kind of turning. So they were kind of interested. But if they were just sitting there and just passing right by them, it was just you need to learn when to go and not just keep throwing at those dots because you see them there. And that's the main thing. Is just you got to know when to go.
Did you receive any, with all the negative that floats around about live scope, when you win on it, do you get any of that negative?
Oh yeah, it's like just on fate, like through the tournament day, like each night I'd get messages like, man, somebody needs to humble you. You're not humble enough, this and that. I'm like, who the hell are you? Like some old grumpy guy. Like, and just watching all the comments, like live scope's not fun watching this and that. And I'm just like, me, I don't say anything because, well, one, we can't. And then I'm just like, well, I could care less what you think, you just want out the bunch. Who cares?
Yeah.
It's just 90% of those guys just don't even use live scope and they just don't want to learn it. So that's the main people, but the people that do have live scope and know how to use it and want to learn it, it's just, you need to, it just helps you so much figuring out fish, and you can figure out which stage the fish are in at that time. So it's smart to use it for sure. It's smart because you figure out a lot, and you can always get that bonus fish with it. Like just having it on and just you look to the right in the middle of nowhere, there's a 2-pound spot just sitting out there, and you got 4 fish. You throw a jerk bait or something on top of it and you catch it, there's your limit right there. It could save you that quick.
Yeah. It doesn't take much. That's what I tell people. Like, people are, is this affecting that? It doesn't take much to affect. Like, literally, your event, you caught every fish doing it. But I mean, you add one fish an event, by the end of the year, your season is entirely different. Literally by adding one extra bite in events.
That could be 2 or 3 or 10 points extra you get in an event. And I mean, that adds up. That's 70 extra points if you get 10 extra points in an event, or for the rest of the season, 7 more. So if you look at it that way, that's how we got to survive. You got to get the points. You got to get every point you could get on the Elite Series. And I think it helps with that part for sure.
Oh, big time. I mean, and to hear Clun last week when he talked about it, he said, why would you ever want to, like, and it sounds so much nicer when it comes out of Clun's mouth than like anybody, but he's like, why would you ever want to stop learning about fish? It's a great tool that allows us to learn. And it's true. Like, the amount of times that we think that fish are locked onto a weed line, or they're locked, like, that's what it's taught me. Like, they are not where you, just because you grew up and thought that they were always going to be here.
Yeah.
They're not always there. It's literally two kicks of a tail, and they move around a lot.
It's just like Clun said for your last episode, that he's just like 80% of the time you're wrong, or 70% of the time you're wrong, and just that 30% you're actually right when you realize what's actually happening below the water. And that's 100% true. When you're looking at the live scope, you can see everything that's actually happening.
Clun also said he learned from you. What did that feel like?
That was pretty cool when I heard that part. I was like, man, I don't know what he learned from me. I'm just old Tyler Rivet, just a little Southern guy from South Louisiana, 28. Don't know what he much learned from him, but it was pretty cool fishing next to him that day at Seminole. When he came in the pocket, and I was just sitting there, just like, I mean, it was just fish after fish, and he was just sitting there with his spinnerbait, just going down the bank, just going. And he finally kind of slowed down and picked up the worm and caught like his biggest fish right next to me. And then he put I think he had like 18 pounds that day just doing that. So it's always cool, like watching him. Just when Rick Clun pulls in next to you, start fishing, it's just awesome. I mean, it's same deal with like Clay Dyer. Like when for the opens and stuff, like when he comes fish next to, I just sit there and watch him. It's just amazing just to watch him fish. And you learn so much from it, and it humbles you for sure. It's just like, wow, that's awesome.
It really does. Those are two amazing men, and definitely humbling when you spend time with either of them. When did this dream start for you? Like, when did you officially say, hey man, I want to be a Bassmaster Elite Series pro? How old were you? What was the moment?
Oh man, I think I just thought of the exact moment too. I was sitting on the sofa at my dad's house, and we were it was Bassmaster was on TV, and then they were saying something about the open at Shreveport, some open at the Shreveport. I'm like, oh wow, I'm like 15 or 16 at the time, and I'm like, oh, I want to get in it, I want to go join it. So it's like starting like 2 days later. And I'm like, oh, we're trying to figure out how to get in it, this and that. I'm like, oh, $1,800 or something like that, or 15. So I forgot what it was. And I was like, oh, wow, I don't know if I could do all that. And just looking, and I'm like, all right, well, that was obviously a dumb decision to try to get in that. But at that point, I'm like, okay, like I want to start doing this. And then at that point, I was about to graduate high school, and they didn't have the high school at that time. And the year I graduated, they started with high school. So I was like, all right, well, we're going to do the college, because college was starting to pick up that point. And that's when I started the Nichols bass team down there at Nicholls State. And from that on out, it was just like homework was second and fishing was first. I was going everywhere, fishing and doing homework when I got off the water, and or even driving up there. We were just doing our homework, doing what we needed to do to get it done. And we were at every tournament we could be at. And that's how I learned for sure. Just fishing everywhere you could go.
Is that bass club still running and still strong?
I think it's still running. They have a few members now. It was slow for a couple of years after I graduated, just kind of fell off, and there was maybe one or two, but now they got, I think, like three or four teams that actually travel and fish. So it's picking back up too. And I know the kids personally, and they're some good sticks. They want to learn a lot.
What is your take being through that program? And I'm assuming in a different way, meaning that you started the club and everything. When you look at what like schools like Bethel have in place and the coaching systems and everything, it's pretty, I mean, the speed that it's coming at is mind boggling. But as somebody who competed in the collegiate ranks, what do you think it is that allows you guys to be better quicker on the Elite Series than what we've seen in the past?
I mean, it's just like any other sport. It's just like playing in college and you want to go pro, or if you want to get in the minor leagues, like you got to go to the minors first to get, it's just like any other sport. You need to practice. You can't just get up, say, all right, I'm gonna go. And I mean, they got the guys that, don't go to college, and they just like a walk on, like they could get on there and still do just as good. There's thousands, and I mean, that too. There's thousands of guys out there that could be on the Elite Series if they wanted to, if they tried.
Yeah,
it's that many good fishermen out there. It's just the ones that really want it, like they put in the work. You went to college, and the main good thing about college is you got a backup degree, even if the fishing career don't work. And I was able to get 2 degrees while fishing,
Yeah.
trying to make it pro fishing. So it worked out for me that I graduated in 18, and it's the same year I qualified for the Elite Series for the following season. So it worked out. I just hope it works out like that with every kid. And even right when I got on the Elite Series, I told everybody that one day the Elite Series is going to be straight college alumni, just because it's that many good guys. Like in that age, that couple of years I was in there, they had some sticks in college, like really good guys, and they all kind of just went their ways. And some of them are on the Elite Series. It's just to think like how many good anglers are actually out there.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's fueling a whole industry. It's not just Elite Series pros. I mean, you look at all the people who went through the college program and now work for Bass, or now work for a company that works with Bass. It's the amount of people from collegiate fishing that are working in the fishing industry. It's unbelievable. And I mean, I've said it many times before. I remember when Jerry McKinnis said we're going to have a collegiate angler qualify for the Classic. I remember thinking that is the worst idea possible, Jerry. How could you think of such an, like, you know what I mean? Because for me, I'm like, everything needs to funnel to the elites. These guys have hostage their whole life, laid it all on the line. And I always feel that way, but I couldn't have been more wrong in my assumption, just because if you look what's happened with college fishing from the day that decision got made, it has skyrocketed into great things. You made the college championship every year, didn't you, for Bass? Like you were there every single year.
All 5 years.
All 5. It's a lot more college stuff than I accomplished.
Yeah, I had to add an extra year there just for that. No, not for the graduation or anything. Just for the fishing.
There's a lot of people doing that. So when you left college, did you, like, was it still full steam ahead? I need to make the elites, or was it like, I'm hoping to make the elites, but if I don't, I got a job?
That's basically how it was. That if I didn't make it that year, maybe I might have tried one more year after college, and just mainly just try to get in a job offshore or get in a plant somewhere down here and just work how everybody else was down here. That's just South Louisiana, we go offshore, we get in the plants. That's how it is in the oil field. So that was the plan, and that still is, even if something would go wrong and just I get off the Elite Series, I always got just the degrees and just the family and everywhere, so I could try to get in something. But that's not a plan, I don't plan on ever trying to leave, because I don't ever want to sit behind a desk after seeing everything we see. We get the best views out there.
That's true. I've said for a long time, the office with the best views has no windows, because you're out in it. And so your situation, you come to Fish Elites. When did the Brock and Hank friendship start? Was that early on, or when did you three get together and start rooming?
I think that was me and Brock. It was like our second year or so, and that's what, it was about the first and second year, I'd say. And that it was kind of we had a big group. It was me, Brock, Brad, Caleb, and Lee, and we were all out there, and it was just all of us. And then we kind of just broke away. We just it was two different deals. Like Brock's and I were focused a lot, and then just like Caleb and Lee, I like to drink and they like to drink, it's fun. But so we just kind of split up, and it was me and Brock, and then Brad came with us, and actually Hank came too. It just wanted, it was at Palaca the second year or so, when we had those 3 off days because of the wind.
Yeah.
Me and Hank just went fishing on the off day at Rodman. We're like, hey, let's just go fishing. It's Hank Cherry. I'm like, holy shit. Like, I don't ever talk to him. Like, I didn't think he would ever want to talk to me. I'm just young Tyler Rivet. And we jumped in a boat. He picked up his jerk bait, and I picked up the punch rod, and we just showed each other everything. And I showed him everything about punching that I knew. And he turned around and was just catching him on a jerk bait in the middle of the ditch in Rodman. And so just from that point on, we're like, all right, we're staying here. And all right, he just started staying with us, him and Kelly. And it was me, Brock, Kelly, and Hank. And it was that for a while. And then Kelly, everything happened with Kelly, which I mean, it still sucks, but I think he can make it back if he wanted to. But
Yeah.
it was a fun group, and now it's us four with Brad in there too. And it's just a good group of guys. We tell each other everything, and that's what you need in the group. You can't succeed on your own. You need everybody's help, and you got to help everybody as well. And that's the main deal with the Elite Series. You got to have a group of guys that you could trust. And I wish I could help everybody. I mean, just not like that. You have to do better than somebody at least. Like you have to do good and win. So
yeah, you got to start at home. Help starts at home, and then
and then some. Yeah.
But I think that's also something that has changed rapidly, and it could be because there's a lot of younger anglers on the Elite Series or what it is. But 10 years ago, there wasn't many. Now it's almost the exception that someone says, yeah, don't work with anyone. It's almost like everybody is working with somebody.
Yeah.
How closely do you guys work? Do you know everything that they're fishing when it's going into an event? Do they know everything, or is it just pointing in the right direction?
We'll know for the most part, just some areas, because sometimes we'll be in the same area, just trying to break it down quicker. And that helps out too. Be like, oh, I got 2 bites here. I got 2 bites here. And you're like, okay, well, they're on the secondary little points. So we'll start running that stuff. And we'll have our areas, this is where I'm fishing, this is where he's fishing. And it's if you need one, come run by, just we'll figure out something. And so, I would never push somebody away from that for sure.
How much did they know about your spot on Okeechobee?
I'd show them. I called him. I was like, dude, Brock was actually running past. He was way up the Kissimmee. It was the first day of practice. It was windy. It was getting late, and he was about to go run to the lake. And I just caught one, that 6-pounder, the first one I caught. And I flipped it in a boat, and he was coming. I'm like, oh, damn boat. So I'm just sitting there pretending like I'm just rigging some tackle. And I look up and it's him. And I'm like, I hurry up and showed it to him. And of course he did the whole whip around and come back. He's like, what the hell you did that with? I'm like, I just caught it live scope. And he's like, oh, that was a fluke. No way. And he kept on going. And then 10 minutes later, I caught one almost 5 doing it. And I sent him a picture and he's like, stay right there. I'm coming. So he come all the way back from the lake to get in there. And I was trying to show him and Brad everything. And then Hank came too. And I was just like, look, it's there's one, just throw at them. And it's just, you definitely have to have the live scope for sure, because the hummingbird one, I couldn't, my eyes were pounding on me when I was trying to look at it. I couldn't figure it out. It's just because I'm so used to that screen, and it's just a different screen you look at. And I was trying to help Brad with it. And I was like, dude, I can't figure it out. And you can still see him, but it was all about knowing what fish would want it and which way he was swimming. That's the main deal. You had to throw it in front of him, just like it's pointless to throw it behind any fish. But that was one thing I learned too, is that I could figure out which way a fish is swimming and what it is. There were so many garfish and crappie and they were big crappie that kind of would get mistaken for bass down there. But I would just point to them, be like, look, that's a bass, throw it there. And it was just a confidence thing, I think, because they were trying to figure it out and they couldn't do it. And they went further up the river doing it, and they were like, dude, I can't catch them. I'm like, oh, I just caught another 5. And I'm like, I was like, I don't know. I don't know if it's just what I'm doing or if it's just a fluke. And that's where it all started right there. And going to the first day of the tournament, I went up there just thinking it was a fluke still. I didn't think anything of it,
Wow. Well, it wasn't a fluke. And if it was, it lasted for 4 days. And I have a feeling that
it could be the biggest fluke ever, as long as that.
And I have a feeling that there'll never be, we went into Okeechobee thinking here's a derby that's not going to be won with live scope. And I don't think there'll ever be a tournament on Okeechobee again where somebody's not going to be keeping that pattern honest. You know what I mean? No. Somebody's not going to be fishing there.
They're going to be doing it, because I've did it a couple places in Okeechobee. So even if it's the Kissimmee River's fished out, I still think you can still do it in the rim ditch or the canals. Just they're obviously out there. And it made me realize a lot about down here where I live too, with the bayous and stuff, that you could do the same thing out here. And I still just can't get off the bank down here. It's just crazy that I could do it anywhere else, but I come down here and I'm still flipping the reeds. So, but Yeah, I think just like anything else, just like every other pattern, that's pattern's probably going to be burnt next time by the time we're there. And Hank said that every tackle store down there ordered sold out his baits after that tournament.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The stunner.
Yeah.
One of the things people say about victories is, we'll wait till that guy wins. When he wins, when he figures out how to win, look out then. Well, you figured out how to win, and obviously your next event went well. We hear that, but what does that feel like?
That, I mean, it's a badass feeling, you know, like when you win. And I just wish it wasn't at the same time. I guess I'm glad it was back to back, because who knows, I might have went down and got off my little momentum train. So it was just cool, you know, everybody behind you, all these new people talking this and that, like, oh wow, he won the first one, now he's almost about to win the second one. And that's what I kept telling myself too. I'm like, oh shit, like I might be able to win the second one too. Just going into the last day in second place, and I had a 25-pound bag, and I was like, I think I could honestly catch him again, because I left the fish there. And I was like, I just need another 24-pound day, and I think I can maybe pull this one off too. So it was a crazy feeling. And I swear I was drinking Red Bull 24/7 for those 2 weeks. Like, and I think I only drank 2 that week, those last 2 weeks. I normally drink a lot of them. And I was like, that's how I felt. Like, I just felt like everything was just going. Like, I'm like, this is like living awesome. Like, everything was going right. It's just, you don't get that much. And that's why I hope it just keeps going out there. And I'm in Orange right now at Kendall's parents right now. We had to come drop the dog off. And on the way here, I was just watching Bass Live and just watching everything just from last couple of years at Knoxville. And I just started getting that weird knot again in my chest. Like, I'm like, oh wow, like that same little feeling I have again. So I'm like, man, I'd love if this little knot stayed there again, and something crazy like that happens for the Classic. So
it may just happen. I mean, it definitely sets up as a great fishery. I mean, and where do you think you are? Like, I mean, before people used to refer to you as, you know, a shallow water guy, but I after winning with Live Scope and at times being in like 22 feet of water, I guess you're not just a shallow water guy. What do you classify yourself as?
I'm more of a shallow, if you could go shallow. Well, I say that Okeechobee was shallow, but I'm just fishing the moment, you know, just what's out there and what's in front of me. And if an opportunity comes up and I got Live Scope on and there's fish out there, I'll try to catch them. And if nothing's working, I'll just get back to what I need to do. I'm just, every tournament, Brock and all them hate about me is that, like, they don't know what the hell I'm doing. And sometimes I don't even know what I'm doing, just because it's just different. It's different every tournament. I just fish like down here. I love the punch. I love the frog. That's my main 2 deals, is punching, flipping, and frog. And now it's, I got to say, it's punching and live scoping. Like, they're neck and neck, you know. A punch and bite's all, you can't ever beat that punch and bite. It's just so fun. But now it's just Live Scope's helped me so much last year and this year already, that I have to keep the confidence up in it. It's, you just, because how we talked earlier, just it gives you that extra fish sometimes, and you need that on the Elite Series.
Yeah. One of the coolest things that I don't think everybody gets to see all the time. Everybody knows how tight you and Brock are and how tight you and Hank are. You know what I mean? Like, that gets talked about a lot, but I don't even know if you got to see like their outward, like, I saw Brock before weighing and he was literally vibrating, like, and he's like, dude, my boy's about to win. Like, it was so, which to me was really cool to see. Number one, that he's that genuine of a friend. And number two, there's also the part of it where you're like, Brock's had 5 seconds. Is it going to be hard for him to watch Tyler take, before him? But dude, I saw the look in his eyes, and there was none of that.
I thought the same thing too. I was like going like, because I didn't even look at Bass Track whenever we entered and everything. And I was like, man, I don't want to look. I was just a nervous wreck. I'm like, I needed one more fish. I already knew it. I was like, I need one more. I needed like that 20, 20, and 21 range. And going in, and everybody's like, "Oh, good job, man." And I'm like, "I don't know, man." He's like, "Oh yeah, you got." I'm like, "I don't know." I'm like, "Stop telling me this." Like, I'm scared. Like, and then I started thinking, I was like, "Man," like I was sitting in the middle, I'm like, "Damn, Brock's gonna freaking hate my ass." and, and I remember Hank already said, he's like, "Damn, Tyler's gonna win a damn tournament before Brock does, because and Brock's gonna hate him." But no, Brock's freaking, he's one of my best, for both of them are. They're one of my best friends now, and I'm glad they were both there for it. And I mean, I would be there for them too. And I know, and that's the crazy part, is everybody knows Brock will win. Like,
Yeah.
it's going to happen, and it ain't gonna just be once, So he's saving it up for one, and who knows, it might be in 2 weeks. He'd be well deserving for it too. But at the same time, I still got that knot in my chest, and I want to win it too.
So what are you like? I would feel like if I was in your position, I'm trying to put myself in your position, but I'm a consummate loser in life. So I haven't put myself a lot in that position, but I would think I'd be like, I'm not changing the brand of toothpaste I use, or not. Like, I'm doing everything I've been doing these first couple of weeks competition. I need to keep riding this wave as far and as long as possible. Is that in your head right now?
Oh yeah, honestly, I've been looking up videos on Fort Loudon and Tellico of sockeye trips or crappie fishing, just to see like what they're doing to catch crappie, just so I could go out there and catch a sockeye the first day and kind of getting that same rhythm again. I mean, it's worked the first 2 tournaments, so it's one of those little superstitions where I got to go catch one now. And I think it might mess me up when I go up north, and y'all don't really have that many, so I might have to target some walleye or something and see if it works like that.
Walleye or perch probably would work. All right.
I think it would work, but yeah, it's one of those deals where obviously I can't use the same 2 jerseys, because one's got a tear going down the middle, and then the other one's lost the sleeves on it. So yeah, I got new jerseys in.
Did you?
Yeah, yeah. Got some new jerseys. I was gonna just get the duct tape going down the middle and to hold it on, but I was able to get new ones, and they look
on stage there was, I feel like there was a whole battle going on. Like, I feel like not everybody gets to see, but I wasn't even like, it started as a joke and I wasn't even going to bring it up. But while I'm interviewing you, I noticed that there was a little cut there. So I'm like, dude definitely wants to do this.
I'm down.
I gave you a few outs. I gave you a few outs off the mic. I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure? Because I don't want to put you somewhere where you don't want to be. And then I think your mom kind of talks to you, we need pictures. And then all I heard was Brock and Hank go, he's not doing it because he can't. And the next thing I knew, you ripped it. Did you even hear those guys say that to you? Or
I feel like I heard them and I didn't even hear them, just because I knew they would probably say something about it. And I normally don't back down from something like that. Like, I'll try to keep my word with it. So it's all on you.
Yeah, it's all my fault. It usually is.
But I'm glad it was fun. It's something different. For everybody that hated it, who gives a shit?
Did a lot of people hate it?
No, I'm sure. I see comments all over the place of it, and I just kind of laugh at it, be like, "Oh, sucks to be you."
It's a victory. People celebrate them all in their own way. And I mean, if you really are a person that's out there picking on the way somebody decided to celebrate a victory, you know what I mean? That's like it's like going to a comedy show and pointing somebody out for laughing too hard. Like, really? Yeah. I mean, you're living life, you're enjoying yourself, and I may have prodded you into it earlier in the week because I grew up watching a lot of Hulk Hogan as a child.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't regret it at all. It's fun, it was pretty cool to do it. And I honestly was second guessing myself too. I was like, it's gonna suck if I try to rip this thing and I can't even rip it. So luckily I did it. But yeah, that would suck. But no, that was pretty cool. Just watching the pictures and looking at the pictures now, I'm like, wow, what a douche. But that is like 100% not me. I'm like the nicest guy ever. Like everybody probably sees all like the flexing and shit on TV, and I'm just like, I mean, I'm just me, you know. You come talk to me anywhere, and I'm just the coolest guy. Like I'm not an asshole. So
Yeah. No, and I have text to prove it. And I was joking with you earlier in the week when we were texting. I'm like, I looked back through our old text and I was like, you in 21, I was like, hey, dude, you need to flex, because I think we took a picture and your arm showed, and then you posted it or whatever. And I was like, I told you should have flexed in that picture. And you're like, I will when the time is right or something. Well, you did do it when the time was right. But tell me about that tattoo, because I don't think enough has been made out of, like, I think there was a time in fishing when Mike Iaconelli was doing things and everybody was like, what is the impact of this going to have on the sport?
Oh yeah.
And I always said, hey man, he's inspiring people, he's motivating people, we're going to see his impact in the future. And now to have Mike Iaconelli in the field with you competing, and you have never give up tattooed on your arm, what was the significance other than the obvious of getting that on your arm? And when did you do that?
I got it right when I turned 18.
Usually not a good time to get a tattoo.
No, but I made it worth it. Like it was a good one, And my grandma at the time, she was going through a lot of she had a stroke and she's got migraines every day. And she could never get out of bed. She was just always the positive person in the family. And it just kind of turned her around. So I got it for her mainly.
Wow.
And just to kind of remind her that like we're in this together. Like I won't give up if you don't give up. And so she's still here today, kicking. And I mean, sadly, I lost my great grandma right before the season started. So that just threw me in for a loop. But no, it's one of my favorite tattoos I have. And I mean, it means a lot because one, I never thought I'd be in the Elite Series where I got to talk to Iaconelli, be like, hey, bud, like I got this slogan on my arm that you kind of said for the Classic. And so it's pretty cool, getting to talk to him, and he loved it. And we were in a podcast the other day and he was talking about it. He's like, just about the passing the torch. And I was like, no, I don't think it's that. I mean, obviously he could still catch them. So I don't want him to pass it. I want him to still fish. And it's just cool fishing on side of these guys. And just how I was able to shake Steve Kennedy's hand right before the win. Like, I was like, holy crap. I've watched this dude my whole life fishing on the Elite Series, taking a trophy. Like I just shook his hand right before I won my first Elite Series event. So it's cool to be around with Iaconelli and all the names like Hackney and just, I never got to meet Hackney. We live about an hour and a half away, and just to talk to him in person, it's just the coolest thing. Like all these guys we watched growing up, or I watched, and it's cool. Just that just to have the tattoo. Back to the tattoo. Like I never thought I'd be standing next to Iaconelli anywhere. So it's just one of those deals. But now it's just kind of one of the,
So when you were 18 years old and you got never give up put on your arm, you weren't like ever, one day I'm going to win a Bassmaster event and my arm's going to.
No, I was working in a shipyard at that time. And I definitely wasn't going to never give up on that shipyard. That's for sure. That was the one deal I was getting out of, but that was just in college and starting out my college career. And so on it went. It helped me through college, just one of those deals where I just never quit the sports. I just kept going.
Is that what got you here? Because there's a lot of pros that come from different accoutrements. You know what I mean? There's there's pros who win a bunch in college and stuff. But dude, I don't take this the wrong way. You feel like a straight up Louisiana hardworking, whatever you want to call, you know what I mean? Like like the thing that when I think of people from Louisiana, I think of hard work. I think of family values. You know what I mean? I think of good times and good food. And, and literally you kind of embody your whole family. You know what I mean? Is that never giving up? Is that what's allowed you to become an Elite Series champion?
Oh, definitely. I mean, if you give up, I'd have gave up when it got tough the third day on Okeechobee. And going into it, I thought I was going to wreck them that day though. But it just, that one day kind of threw me in for a loop. I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna catch him. And you know what? I just stuck with it. I even told Brian, the camera guy, I was like, "I'm gonna win. I got to keep this jerk bait in my hand, and we're gonna keep doing it." And so that's what kept me going at it. I just never gave up on it.
How how was that different than in the past though? Like, did it feel different this time? Like for you to know, like this is how I'm going to win. If I put this down, I'm
Yeah.
fishing for another place.
And that's what Kendall told me too. She was like, honestly, I've never heard you talk like this before. She said, like, you're always just like, it might work, it might work. And I was that week, like going through the first and second day, I was like, I could win this tournament. Like, I really think I could win this tournament. And sure enough, like it just worked out that I was able to win. And normally I'm not like that, I like I said, we just go try to get a check. So yeah, it was that weird feeling in my chest, and it was just that weird knot. And even Brad was like, dude, you're gonna win. Like when I figured out the tournament, when I figured out the live scope and they would try to show him, he's like, dude, you're gonna win. You're gonna win doing this. Like him and Brock called it before the tournament even started. And I was like, dude, there's no way. And sure enough, that's still crazy. It's crazy just thinking of it because I don't get to think of any of this yet until like we start talking about it again.
So when in the tournament did you think, I think I'm going to win this? Like at what point? Not, I would love to win this. It'd be cool to win this. Like, but what point did you think, man, I think I'm going to win this?
Oh man, I think it was the second day whenever I know it's probably hearing this, but I had like 5 or 6 because I was trying to call and I had all my fish on the bottom of the boat and I didn't know which one to call. Like all my scales were almost the same. I'm like looking at them, they were all 5.5, 6 pounders. And I'm like, I told him, he took a picture of it too. I'm like, how do you call? Like, I was like, I'm calling a 5.5 for a 5 3/4. It was the craziest day of fishing I ever had. And I was like, dude, like when I backed off of it, I'm like, we need to leave because I think I could win. And that third day or the fourth day when I landed that first one in the morning, I said, if we land it, we're going to win.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing that when you look back at everybody that's came in first or second, them first place guys normally never really lost that key fish through the tournament. The second place guys always like, I had that 1 or 2 I lost. And that tournament, I didn't lose a 1 fish. It was the craziest thing ever.
Wow. But then it got quiet after that. Like I remember on the final day, like, which I also think is cool. Like as a fan, I'm like, it was cool that you were tested. Like if you'd have gone and blasted 25 pounds on day 3, it would have been fun. Sure. You would have loved it, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
But I feel like as a fan, you want to see pros get tested, and you got tested on day 3. But then just like when it looked like it was going to be in cruise control on day 4, like you catch a big fish to start off the day.
Yeah.
That like I would, as an angler, I'm like, oh boy, now in his head, he's like, I've just accepted that I'm going to win. And that's why I'm not freaking winning anymore. Because it went for a few hours there, didn't it? Like,
it was the slowest day I had all week. And to put it at limit in, at least the third day I was able to catch 5 and they were kind of smaller, but it was 5 and just to go for 4 forever. But being able to turn around, like I learned so much just watching what I was doing, just going back and watching that peak performance. And when I literally caught that big one, I put it in the boat, waiter, did everything. Like I literally went against everything I said about having to get back out there as quick as you can and catch another one while they were fired up. I did stuff for probably 5-6 minutes before I even made another cast. I'm like, what a dumbass, like I literally probably could have caught another 5-pounder if I'd have got back out there quick, because that's what I was doing all week. Like if you could catch that big one, hurry up, put it in the box, get out there and you'll catch one, guarantee almost. And I didn't even do it. Like, I don't even know what I was thinking at that time. I had to pull the jacket off and give the old flex out. But it was just, I was pumped up, and then I started thinking about it after the tournament. I seen it and I'm like, I knew it. Like I screwed up somewhere and that's where it was. I should have got out there, put that fish in the box and hurry up and cast it again. Because I looked when Brian was showing the live scope, it wasn't just that one fish right there that was coming up to that bait. There was like 4 of them with it. And if I'd have just put her in the boat and cast it back out there, I could have caught him, because that's how it happened all week. And that's what kind of, and it started that dry spell, is that after that, they kind of were just suspended out there and they didn't go back there for a while.
Well, thank God you won, because you'd be watching that video a whole different, you know what I mean? Now it's like, well, I could have won better.
Yeah,
But-
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I could have, even the second day when I had 29 something, I knew I could have broke 30 pounds, but I was just sitting there on that spot, and I just cast it one more time just to do it, and I caught that 6-8, and I'm like, all right, well, I just called out a 5.5 for that, so I just kind of messed up one fish, and I was like, I need to leave it, and I was sitting there, and they're just looking, they're on the line scope, they're just sitting there like ready. They're just wanting to eat. You know they were going to eat too. And I'm like, golly, I just need like a little bit more to break 30 pounds. And I said, you know what? Let's leave. Let's leave it alone, because I might need that one fish. And sure enough, it might have been that 6-8 I caught the first thing the final day.
Yeah. Well, it was wild. And it's one of the frustrating things about our sport is it's like you can do everything right and still have everything go wrong, but you can also do everything wrong and have it go right. Like I hate when anglers say on stage, I hate when they give me that, well, if it's my time, it's my time. But truly, it is true. And you can't which has got to make it frustrating, because like this feeling you're feeling now, you want to keep that going forever.
Yeah.
Inevitably it ends at some point for everybody, you know, whether it just lays off a little bit or whatever. But I feel like like once you felt it once, like you're just, the drive to feel it over and over again must be unexplainable.
No, it's killing me to not just sit at home, or to just sit at home right now, not be out there practicing for the next tournament. You know, it's like, I need to be out there. I need to learn something, and I need to get out there, and I want to keep this going. Like I'm sitting still too long. Like I want to start running again, you know, like I gotta keep going. It's killing me just sitting here. So I'm glad the Classic's next on this little momentum swing I got right now. And hopefully it's just the start of the momentum swing.
Yeah. How are you feeling about your shot in the Classic, regardless of momentum and everything? Like, what's your outlook on that body of water and your style of fishing?
Well, if we're gonna look at that, then one, I'm not a big fan of like just going around just throwing crankbaits on rocks. Like I used to do that in college a lot, just go down riprap, just do this and that. And I'm just, rock lakes really never fit me well. Like it was just in my head. But I got past that point now where I don't care if I suck at it. Like I'm gonna make myself better at it, you know, just because of this little momentum thing I got going. Like I feel like it's a confidence thing that helps me too. And I feel like it'll help me at the class as a rock place, even though I think like, you know, I'm not that great at it, but now I got live scope to my advantage that I could use. And then I got just the momentum and the confidence going in this thing that, you know what, I can catch them. And I think I can do pretty good in this tournament. You know, I really think I can. And it's all about just fishing for this one, because you never know. It's a hard place, and I love the grinders for sure. So I still don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna stick up in Loudon or go down in Tellico and do a lot of jerking, but I think if I keep that jerk bait in my hand a lot, I think I could pull off a top 10 for sure.
Rick Clunn mentioned it on the show, and we talked about, you know, why this is happening for you now. And one of the reasons he brought up is he said a lot of times when people get put in bad situations, good comes out of it. Mm-hmm. You lost your title sponsor going into the season.
Yeah.
Did any of this good come from that? I mean, as negative as that is, is any of what we're seeing happen? Is any of that just that extra motivation to be like, man, I need to catch him?
It is. I started the season after they told me so late in the year. They told me right before Christmas. And at that point, everybody did their budgets for next year. Yeah. So there was no turning to anybody else to, hey. And, you know, going forward, I thought I was going to be with them for a while. Like they were awesome to work with. They're still a great company. They changed up a lot of their market and stuff. And I was part of that change. And it is what it is. But yeah, I think it kind of fueled me on the inside, because I was back in that mindset where, you know what, I need to catch them if I want to make money, because I don't have that title deal anymore, and I'm on my title. So I have to catch them if I want to make money, and because I got to pay for the for that next deposit for the entry for the Elite Series. And I think it worked out exactly how it was supposed to, just with the win for the first tournament, with my logo on the front of my jersey and on my truck and boat. I think it just helped myself out and just bring out the best of me, and the TR fishing with the flexing and everything. It just shows who I really am, just my two favorite things. I don't go around everywhere just like flexing and everybody go in the supermarket and just be like, get out of here, grandma. Just like in my way. Like, no, I love a gym. I'm a gym rat, like I love going to the gym. It's my two happy places, the gym and the fishing. So it's just both of my two things into one, and that's my logo.
What does the gym do for you? Why is it your happy place?
It, like, even fishing all day, like after the practice day or just a tournament day, I'll still go to the gym. And it gets my mind right, like I don't think of all the outside stuff, what could happen, this and that. I just get out there, put my music in and jam out and just get in my own head. Just like, it's all about like yourself and saying like, you can do this, like it's all keys, like I get all that negative out of me. There's no negative. Like, even if I do lose a fish during the day, I'm just like, yeah, it would have been nice, but I don't get down on myself. And I think that's one positive thing about me, is that I don't get down on myself. Like, I just go with it. It happens, and just keep going.
Have you always been like that, or has that been in recent years?
What's that? Like going to the,
like being positive, like just not letting a lost fish bother you? Like,
yeah, like in college, we'd all get all boudade and stuff, mad, and it just never worked out. Once you start doing that, you just lose.
Boudade?
Yeah, boudade, like sad.
That boudade means
yeah,
sad?
boudade.
Okay.
But yeah, so like you kind of get mad and just frustrated, and then you don't fish right. You're fishing fast, and it just screws up the rest of your day. So I just learned to kind of throw that over me, and you just don't let anything that I can't control bother me. Just like last year at the St. Lawrence, the third day or the second day. I'm sorry, I didn't make it to the third day. The second day going out there, I put my boat in the water, and then my trolling motor was not working at all. Just the wire, it was rough the first day, and I think I broke something on the way back, and I didn't think to even look at it, but I'd lost 3 hours that day just sitting in that the boat yard getting it fixed. And that was 3 hours of waste of time. And my marshal was like, dude, how are you not like pissed off, screaming, doing this? And I was like, it is what it is, you just got to go out there and deal what's dealt to you and take it as it comes and go out there, and we'll figure out. And sure enough, we left. I went all the way to Henderson Bay still, and was still able to catch 19 pounds and, at 39 something for 61st place. So
it's remarkable that you talk about being calm and you say you put your tunes on, but then I also know you listen to like the angriest music on earth. Like, like there's only one type of music I dislike. I literally like everything, but like that really heavy. That's, I hate that, but that's your jam, right?
Well, that sucks for you, man. It's just, it's like more of half the stuff, like even if you listen to hip hop and stuff and you're like, dude, you can't even understand the rock stuff. I'm like, did you ever listen to your little hip hop stuff? Like, I don't understand a word they're saying. But it's more of just that pump up deal, and just the drums, the guitar, just like, I'm not like a full, like straight up scream stuff. Like, I do like it a little bit, but I love just the pump up. And that's what I was always taught when I was younger. Me and my dad would just jam out going to the deer lease or going fishing. We had the Linkin Park, Breaking Benjamin, just the old Metallica, we were just jamming out always. And that's just a part of me now. Like, that's the only music I really like. And everywhere we go, I even got Kendall listening to it now. So she loves it. She comes to the concerts. I just booked tickets to my next concert already. So
what's your next concert?
Well, it's in May. So I don't know if anything comes up between then, but it's for Seven Dust.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll go Mohawk or no Mohawk for that one.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I might show up to the classic one. Who knows?
Come on, dude. Yeah. I would love the classic needs a Mohawk. Really. Classic. If we piss some people off with flexing and a Mohawk.
That's straight. Like, yeah. That's straight douche right there. But at the same time, I don't care. It is what it is, you know.
You did have a mohawk for a little while this past off season, did you not? Or was that just for one concert?
No, I had it for a little bit. Actually, Kendall gave it to me because I couldn't get my hair cut from the lady I normally go to, and she's like, "Oh, I'll cut it." And I was like, "All right, well, let's just have fun with it. You know, let's just shave the sides and go with a little mohawk going." So it might happen again in 2 weeks or a week.
Or tomorrow when this airs.
Yeah.
It's very confusing. I'd like that to happen. I'd like that to happen. Yeah. I mean, people know. I'm taped these beforehand. Right now, me and Tyler are probably having a drink at the Night of Champions while you guys are listening to this. We are both dudded up. Do you what was that?
Cassade. It means you're getting drunk. And
okay. Yeah.
Cajun French, some cassade.
Okay, what are you planning on wearing to the Night of Champions?
Probably just wear my tux, and I don't know what else I'm wearing. Depends what Kendall wants. I'm just like, she's like, here, put this on. So that's what I'm gonna wear.
Wise man.
Yeah. Nothing outrageous, you know.
Wow. If you have a mohawk, everything else, the mohawk speaks for the
that's true. Yeah, I'm gonna have to wear it for that if I have it.
Yeah, maybe if she's wearing red dress, you get red mohawk. If green dress, I don't know. Maybe just an idea.
Like red, white, and blue one or something. America.
I like it.
Sure.
Dude, I'm so happy to see everything that's happening for you. Number one of the things that I always cheer for is people that have great families behind them. And your family, man, they have been to more the amount of events that they've missed is a lot less than the amount of events that they've made. I mean, they've literally been at feels like every single event. To watch their support of you, it's awesome. But it's also awesome to see everybody's starting to see the same thing that and to blow their horn again, toot their horn or whatever you want to call it, of Hank and Brock. Like, dude, there's not many pros that go out of their way to, like, and I'm talking several years ago, like when your name comes up in conversation, they will stop people and be like, just so you know, he's the real deal. He's not like, it's pretty cool to run with a group of people that care about you that much, but it's really cool to see it starting to happen for you and the fishing industry starting to notice, you know, the person that you are and the angler that you are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm just, I guess, here representing just the fun ones, you know, it's just how me and my best friend always fished growing up. Just, we were in the boat, like even now, like we still get in a boat together for little tournaments, and we're always just that. I think I get more pumped up for those little tournaments when we're fishing because we got each other. We're just like pumping each other up, doing some dumb stuff like that.
Like what? What do you do? What's this friend's name?
Quinn.
You and Quinn. So you and Quinn are out. What happens? Pump each other up.
We a lot of times we do good together. Like we win the tournaments, and it's just like a feeling, you know. Like we've been best friends since we were kids, and like we ran stuff down there, and it's just fun, you know. Like it's just a fun feeling. Even when we just go fun fishing down there, we're always having fun. We might have a few drinks and just you're just having fun, you know. It's just like
having fun.
I mean, there's no other way to put it, you know. We're just out there laughing, like pushing people in the water. Who cares? Like, I mean, it's just always fun with them. Like we're doing the craziest stuff and still catching them. And that's why I lived on the Elite Series. I just try to fulfill that, you know, just still having fun with it, you know. And the last couple of years, I was always like, I was watching myself on camera and I was just quiet. And now, like, I kind of got into that point where I'm like, you know what, like it's pretty boring just not talking. So they got to have some fun with it. So I'm trying to get better at it. But yeah.
When you mean pushing people in the water, just to be clear, you mean like buddies and stuff like that. You're not like just old people walking past and just.
No, we're in the boat. Yeah, no, we'll be in the boat and stuff. And no, it's just fun. Like we've got everybody out there. We're just little local tournaments. I fished one a couple of days ago and I got my butt whooped. I got second, but I got my butt whooped by the guy I looked up to my whole life fishing out here. He was one of the best down here, named Chad Collinbell. And They it was one of the guys I learned a lot from, just from that old local club. And I just got in the back of their boat when I was younger and just watched what they did. And they brought me and just taught me stuff. So it's pretty cool going back to the roots and him still coming back and beating me right after I won my first event. So, and he let me have it too. He told me that too. He said, I still got you. But no, it's fun. And like back to what you were saying with Brock and my family, I mean, it means so much to me that they're right there at every tournament. And I wish we could always be top 10, us four, me, Brock, Hank, and Brad. Like, I just always wished for us to always never not miss a cut. I hate when one of us miss a cut because I feel like it's just a little negative thing, like somebody might get mad. But they've been doing good this year, like Brock and Hank used to kind of get and stuff, and just like I just be like, what, it is what it is. And I mean, they're 100%, 180 degrees different this year, and they're just way fun. They're just fun. Like, we had a little damn ping pong table, and Brock didn't make the cut at Seminole. And the second we got up there, we're already starting to play ping pong the second I get back. And so it's just cool that he's and it's going to benefit them more, to not have any of that negative stuff out there. And I mean, it just changes somebody. And I mean, like I said, I just wish we all would succeed every tournament.
Yeah. I just wish that we'd have Mohawks in the Bassmaster Classic. I'm just going to leave it.
That's the next thing you're going to push on me now.
I'm just as a man who can't grow a Mohawk, I have an inverted Mohawk. I mean, if I could, I would grow a Mohawk for the Bassmaster Classic.
Yeah,
but
sure.
It's going to be fun, dude. And I can't wait to watch how it goes for you. I can't wait to watch how the rest of the season goes for you. But you've worked your ass off. You deserve everything that's happening for you. And I kind of feel like you're just getting started, dude. So
I hope so.
Let's have some fun.
Let's do it. And one last thing is that just what you just said is that, I feel like it's just getting started. I never won a tournament my whole college career, everything, just growing. Like, I've won the locals, but all the big tournaments, I've never won anything. And it was just always that a lot of people, I didn't win, all the kids. And it's like, I think you have to win. Well, it's not about winning. You just got to be successful. And that's what I want to tell them. Just keep at it and just never give up. Get at it. Who cares if you come in second? Do better the next tournament, and you never know. One day it'll pay off for you, just like it did for me. So
it definitely paid off. And I thank you for your time, and go win the Bassmaster Classic.
That's what I plan on doing tomorrow or Friday or Saturday.
Soon.
So there you have it. Tyler Rivet, what a start to a season he is off to. And I wish him luck again this week at the Bassmaster Classic and with all the Elite Series events coming up very, very soon. Thank you for taking the time on literally the busiest week of the year, but it's the greatest week of the year. It is Bassmaster Classic week. I hope to see a bunch of you in Knoxville at the Bassmaster Classic. As I said, if you see me, holler out my name. I'll try to get to you. I would love to meet each and every one of you. Another person you're going to see down there, and it's somebody who I always profess my love for, Bob Cobb, the amazing Bob Cobb, and everything that he's given to this industry. He starts every one of these shows and ends every one of these shows. But one of the few events you get to see Bob Cobb at every single year is the Bassmaster Classic. He's usually in the Bass booth. He's usually selling his books, The Bass Story Unplugged by Bob Cobb, and he's the only one that can tell it because he was there when it was all being put together. If you're a fan of this sport, if you're buying them this gift and the coolest thing is Bob will sign it for you right there. Want to talk about an awesome piece of history. But the crazy cool thing is this is one of those gifts that you'll buy for somebody and they'll thank you when they get it. But a few months later, after they've spent some time reading it, they'll thank you again. And even if that person that you're buying it for is you, trust me, this is the gift that keeps on giving. I find myself reading it often when something comes up. And it's a good way to say thank you to Bob Cobb for being the person that he is. He is a national treasure that should be protected at all costs. And he will be at the Bassmaster Classic. So swing by, say hello to Bob Cobb in the Bass booth. Tell him Dave sent you, and let him know that
You like hearing his voice on the podcast because he starts and finishes every single one of these. I look forward to hanging out with you at the Classic, Bob Cobb. I look forward to seeing a bunch of you guys there. Without further ado, take it away, Bob Cobb.
Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe because Bob Cobb of the Bassmasters told you to. You hear?